Well, yeah, I would say after an evaluation that was done between the year 2019 and 2021, the vision has been refined, and even the mission itself has been refined a lot, because we realized that in the past, the program was simply about giving people a chance to study, but without very clear, specific objectives about it. But after that evaluation, then we realized that the sponsors of this program would really want to see the particular impact that the program is creating, especially in the leadership of the church and institutions that are related to the church in Africa. And so now we are focusing more on the whole issue of leadership. And therefore, we have extended the program. Now it's not just for the scholars, that we are also going to include the superiors and the leaders who send these students to us, so that we are not just working from one side, that we are going to work all around the leaders in the church and see how we can make a difference. I must say the criteria is a bit different as we renew the program, as we rebrand the program, because now we are not just so much looking at the academic papers only. We, of course, we look at the academic papers because they have to go to a university, and therefore they must meet that basic requirement for having passed your exam and having the right grades to be able to proceed on to a degree or a diploma course or a certificate. Therefore, but what we are really looking at is people who have the potential to be leaders already with what they are doing, or people who have been even in that leadership before, but they do not have any particular training about it. They have already made an impact somewhere, and therefore if we boost them, they are even going to do better. Okay, for the 2023 intake, we took about 46 students. Of course, that is mostly dictated by the amount of money we receive from the funders. It gives us a ceiling of how many we can take. And then also that we are taking them from various fields that are of interest to the donors, especially areas of education, health, social interventions, and the courses that support the management of institutions. Because we have realized that as a Catholic Church, we run so many institutions. And the unfortunate thing has been that many of our brothers, our sisters, our priests do not have that professional training. And yet the rest of the world would expect us to handle matters in a professional way. So that's why we have opened those fields, so that they are able to get those skills to be able to do these things professionally and be able to improve the service that we give to the people. It is very important for the students to have an induction, because it is a program that entails quite a number of things. It's not just paying the school fees for them. It is also about forming these people. So we have a lot of activities that we put in within the year as they start their studies in whatever university. There are those activities that bring them together as a team, as a family of the new generation leaders, because we also want them to interact with each other and to know each other and be able to share what they are doing and what is happening to them. Therefore, this induction is so important because it introduces them to this family. They will be able to meet even the older students, so that they can feel part of the team, and also that we want to give them what we expect of them, because it's not just a program that we give you money and you go. No, we'll be monitoring what is happening. We want to see their progress. We want to ensure they complete their studies on time. We want to be sure that they are receiving the services we have paid for in those institutions, wherever they are. And so this education at the beginning is so important, so that they are not, we don't get them off guard when we ask for a grade, for example. They already know from the beginning that this is required of me. And then, of course, we have a whole activity of accountability of the little funds that we give to them. We would like them to be leaders who are able to be accountable. And therefore, we would want to explain to them how they are going to account for whatever it is we are going to give to them. It is important for the Poteka's office to be present in this induction because, as I have said, the fund is not from the board as such. The fund is from the Poteka's body that runs the activities of that particular family that funds this whole program. So it is important for the students to be able to know what does our funding agency expect of us. What are they trying to do? So that's why today it was very important for us to have Lena, who is the grant manager for Africa, and this program falls under her docket because Poteka's has many projects it runs in the country, but this particular one falls under the docket of the grant manager. She's the one who makes sure that the grant sent to us is being utilized in the right way, and she's the one who reports on our behalf to Poteka's. This kind of session, we normally call it an in-house session. And being in-house, we are giving them the information that we would want them to use for the next 2, 3, 4 years they are going to be in school. And therefore, it is important that it is done by the board because it is us, the board, that are going to monitor their progress. And also, it is a chance for them, during the interview, they may not know who is who. But this is now the chance for them to be able to know who is the board member, who is doing what. Because we also want, as the new program requires of us now, we are going to be interacting more and more with the students. Because we don't want just to give them an education and then they go. We would like to mentor them. We would like to create an impact also on them so that tomorrow they are the same ones who will come back and take over from us. So that's why the board members feel it is important for them to be the ones doing this first session with the students. In the future, whatever else that is done, we normally get people from outside there. But this particular one is a session that is done by the board. My message to the scholars is that, as I keep telling them all the time, they have a lifetime opportunity. A lifetime opportunity to be able to improve themselves, make something of themselves, and be able to stand tall in the future in terms of leadership in the church. They have that opportunity to be able to really make things better, where maybe they have experienced problems themselves through maybe lack of leadership in their organizations, that they are going to be in there and kind of straighten up some of those things in the congregation, so that the future generation then will have a different kind of leadership than what they have had. And this is hoped that it will make the congregations, the associations, the dioceses, the church as a whole, a better managed institution than it is now.
I felt so happy when I found myself among those selected to come for the scholarship program, because it has been my longing to go back to school to continue with my studies, and I know this will take me far in terms of education. The application process was a good experience because it was done online. Since I've never done applications online, but this one being the first, I found it interesting, and we hope with time it will be much easier, because it was a bit difficult, but along the way I was assisted.
The application process was quite tough now that it was done online, I struggled quite a number of times. And the challenge was that you start, you reach somewhere, you get stuck, and then everything goes. So you'll have to start again another time. I'm grateful to the board members and everybody who is concerned for this opportunity and for what they're doing. And my promise is that I will do my best also to do whatever I'm required to do as a student. And also probably after acquiring and gaining these skills, then I will also use them to impact the society.
I feel now I'm armed. I know what is expected of me, what is ahead of me, and how I can make good use of the resources that have been bestowed on me by being granted the opportunity. Time was limited. Just the one that we have had, the methodology of study, issues to do with the internet, how we can make maximum use of the libraries and the online facilities that are at our disposal. He had a lot, but he shared towards the end in rushing, just speaking the basic. And we thought we needed to be acquainted so that as we begin the journey, we are all aware of how we can go about it.
I was very excited. I kept refreshing my email for so many days. And when I finally stumbled upon the email that told me that I had qualified, I was elated. I literally told everybody who was around me. And I felt that I am beginning a new step, a new phase in my life. That was really exciting for me. I'm already used to those online applications. So for me, I found it quite easy. It wasn't as complicated as many online applications that I've made in the past. It was very clear of what they expected at each point, where we were supposed to upload items. So for me, the online application process was actually quite smooth, and I enjoyed filling in the information. And the response was also quick. You apply and they tell you your application has gone through, and it's very easy to now move on to other things once you know that your application has gone through successfully. Actually, I felt really good meeting with people from different parts of the country, and it's really exciting just sharing experiences. You think you've come from far. I come from the Archdiocese of Nyeri. That's where I work in the youth department. And meeting people from as far as Turkana, wengine Mombasa, wengine other places, it's really quite an interactive experience, and it's a growth. You know, your network is your net worth. So you get to interact with these people, you get to learn of the different experiences, you get to even get ideas on how you can improve where you come from. So I think the board has done a really good job at that, and I look forward to engaging with them even more during my period as a student and even afterwards in the alumni community.